So today I'm thinking I'm going to do a colour palette. It is coming up for Valentine's Day. I don't want to do anything too lovey-dovey, but I thought it'd be nice to do something with some pinks in, and I fancied some inks, inky pink. So I've got some Aquatints. What's in the tin? Ooh, some Inktense. But maybe mix it up a bit with some of these. Today I thought I would do one of the colour palettes from this book that I bought on, no I didn't buy it on, yes I did buy it on, I get confused about what I got for Christmas. I asked for it for Christmas, I didn't get it, so I bought it myself. The best kind of present. So it's from Amazon, and I think it is just one that is published maybe by Amazon, I'm not sure, but I will link it in the description box below, where I will also list everything I'm using today. And I got it because just to give me a bit of a spark, and it says to spark creativity, and for exactly that reason, because I do get stuck in the same sort of ruts of what colours I like to use. So I've gone for today this one because it is Valentine's Day this week. I didn't want to do anything too romantic, love, but I thought going something within the pinks and then erring into the purples would be quite nice. And I thought this picture would be lovely. I think it's lavender. Would be a really nice one, as in the UK we are hopefully starting to head towards the spring. Hopefully. So I thought that would be a really nice colour palette, and then I thought, do you know what, I fancy using something a little bit different, and I love using my watercolours, and I will be using a little bit of watercolour in with these, but it would be quite nice to use some inky type products. So I have these Aquafine, oh, brushes are spinning everywhere, these Aquatint inks that are by spectrumnoir. I do not believe they even make these in these bottles, put them in these bottles anymore. I think they do make sets still, but I think they're done in a different way. I got these years ago. They were on, I think at the time they were on clearance, so that just shows you. I think they were clearing out, and I bought a lot for a really cheap price. But I don't really use them because, to be honest, they're a bit clumpy. I can see why they probably changed packaging. They're a bit clumpy with all your bottles. You don't sort of want 3 million bottles on your desk at any time, do you? You know, with the fear that you're going to knock them over. They don't have pipettes or anything, so I have my own little pipettes. Just these ones, the really cheap ones, to use with them. So I'll probably put some in a palette. So I've got this pink, which goes really nicely with this pink here. I've got a really dark blue, which will go nicely here, and I've got this purple, which goes quite nicely here. So those were the three I was thinking of for those. So then I've got this pink here. Now I didn't have any colours that really match, so I've gone to my kuretakegansaitambi Art Nouveau set, and I'm thinking that this pink here, I usually get these out with a palette knife because I find it easier. So this pink here, which is number 18, would go nicely with that pink there. I haven't got one that really matches this one in here, but I did think that maybe the Potter's Pink might be just about fit. I think it's Potter's Pink. It's Potter's Pink. Oh, what's this one called then? Pale Pink. So Pale Pink is number 18. Potter's Pink is number 23. And then this purple here, I'm thinking is going to have to be this one, isn't it? Well, that's not really that one. That's more a dusky. But then those don't really fit either. So maybe we'll leave that. Maybe we'll go with something else for that, because I'm thinking I might like to add a little bit of oil pastel in today. I still haven't sealed my previous projects that I did, but I did order the Sennelier spray, and that's the one that I've now got, but I still actually haven't used it, so I do need to get on and do that. So let's put these other paints aside. And I've also got in this little tin, I took them out of the original tin, my Inktense blocks, because I've got a really nice dark blue here, which I thought would be a bit of extra for that. And I've sort of got this like a deep red, which isn't technically in my colour palette, but I think I'm going to add that in anyway. So I'm going to put those to the side because I thought it'd be nice to have some inky things. Generally inky things, I know people don't like to use, oh, that made a little bit of that there, don't like to use within work that they might be selling or is going to go on the wall, because it's got dyes in it, dyes for the colour, then it's not going to be as light fast as ones that have got pigments in. So it's going in my sketchbook, so I'm not too worried. So we'll put those ones aside. So I will put that over here. And I have got here, this is my, can't lift that bit up. This is my Winsor & Newton mixed media pad. And I'm going to do, I think I want to do 4. But then I'm going to have a quick flick actually, because I feel like, I don't know if I ever did one with 6 on in here. And I feel like I'd quite like to do 6. And that one I did 3. Oh, I did do 6. I think I actually might do 6. I like the idea of that, so I'm going to actually do 6. So I've got my blue Scotch tape. If anybody wonders, I just buy this in the DIY store. In the UK, I go to B&Q because that's the main sort of DIY store we have on the Isle of Wight, but I'm sure there are other places. It is Scotch. You probably can get other versions on it. I'm just taking some tack off, but I find this is the one that works really well for me for not having colour seeping underneath. Now I'm going to give it a thin border around the edge because I know that I'm sort of using up quite a bit of space in the middle by dividing it up. Oh look, I didn't do a very good job of making sure that was long enough, did I? So let's wrap that, and I'd like to wrap it around the sides. I am going to, I'm going to probably have to now put another little tiny bit on there, aren't I? That's annoying. There we go, but we don't want to sort of mess it up because I can't be bothered. So measure it out a bit better this time. Again, I'm just taking some tack off on my jeans, and then we will just add. So you can, you know, if you wanted to make a bigger border, oh, that's terribly stuck down. You can like stick it so that it's got a wider border, but I only want a really thin one around the edges. And then I didn't measure that again, did I? Let's hope that I did it better by eye this time. Ooh, just, and that helps to cover up that spine, that spiral spine as well, which we don't, I don't want anything going sort of down below there. So let's start with the one across the centre. And let's go there. So this is going to be a bit abstract. I might add a little bit of hearts in here, you never know. I might add a bit of acrylic painting. We're going to go very mixed media-y, but sort of thinking about that ink as well. I'm just sort of eyeballing. Oh, sorry, my cat has just decided that this is the moment he decides he wants to go out. So once I've stuck this down, I may have to go and just let him out so that he doesn't keep yowling. Oh, my beloved cat. So, oh, hair in there. So whilst I just let him out, which means it'll probably go up for 5 minutes and be back in a second, yowling outside the door. But this I got out whilst I just came back to pop my inks into, because I don't want to leave my lids off of my inks. Now these are the Aquatints. I want to just squeeze a little bit into each. I have got more than one of these, but I think I'm, oh, I could just, no, I've just spotted another one, and I've just spotted another one. That's handy, 3. So we'll use one for each colour to be really good. So let's start with the, we'll put the lightest on this side for now. So this is, they don't have don't have names, they just have numbers. This is number 55. So let's just pop a bit. Oh, I don't know how much to put in. Let's just then pop that in the water. I'm sure that'll be more than enough. It's probably much too much. Then we've got this one, which is 56. So we have a pink, we have a purple. Oops, bubble on the top. Let's just do that. Ooh, I'm hoping in this way I'm far less likely to have any major accidents, because I am a little bit, what would be the word, clumsy. And this is a deep blue. This is number 8. I've read it as 13 for a minute, but I think it's number 8. Let's put all those in there. And I've grabbed out these Daler-Rowney graduate brushes. I did wonder whether I should have separate brushes for inks as opposed to paints, but I'm not sure whether that's necessary. But should we put, oh, what should we put down first? Should we put down the paint first or the ink first? Let's go with some ink. Let's go with this pink because it's quite a pale pink. Now I'm just going to really just squirge it about. I'm not thinking. This is lovely if you just want to create and you don't know what you want to do. So let's get that drop watered off. Actually, I'm going to go with a different brush. I don't want to put the water back. I want to keep these quite intense. So let's go with, oh, that is, you can see I have put way too much ink down in there, haven't I? So really, I think I want a bit more in there. Let's go with that. Oh gosh, they're very intense because the water has really changed colour. Let's go with some of the blue, but let's go with this brush. This is a sword brush, so let's just get some different shapes and stuff going, some different sort of lines. Right, let's go so we can get some nice fine lines in these as well. Join some bits together, and then that way we'll hopefully see that there's a continuation. Now I am actually liking that bit of white in each of them, so I don't know now whether I want to add anything else on the top of that, but I'm not sure. Now also, do I want to just leave this to dry or do I want to dry it with my heat tool? Oh, questions. Right, no, do you know what I am? I'm going to add some paint. Let's get another different shape. Oops, throwing brushes around. I think the cat's back at the door. Oh, that would be about right. Right, let me just get this done, then I can let the cat in while it dries, can't I? So this is the Potter's Pink and the Pale Pink. I'm wondering actually whether I should just stick with the Potter's Pink because I've already got that pink there. Let's just do some marks into here. Sorry, I notice that I always sort of start in the middle. I don't want to, right, I'm not going to worry that I have just contaminated that, because what I can do, I will just lift that out like that. That's fine. All done. Fine. Right, what I'm liking here as well is that because the paint is sort of going a bit translucent over the top, so it's actually making quite a nice effect there. But let's go some in that one, some down there. Let's rinse that. I will have to go and change all of my water. That one. I may leave the pale pink, and what I might do is I might use another medium over the top, either paint or oil pastels or something, to give that other colour. So I will leave this to dry, let the cat back in and go and sort my water out. Okay, so I let it mostly dry on its own. I did go with the heat tool, but there's still spots where it's not quite dry. I found this Bubblegum pink shimmer paint, which I thought would go with, I think it's a bit brighter than that one, but a sort of a bright pink that might look quite nice on there. But before I do that, I thought I'd use some of these just to do some marks, maybe some circles and things like that on here. I don't know whether I'm going to water them out. So let's do that one there. I just love circles. I think they're just such a universal, beautiful shape. Let's do it like that. Maybe do this one, maybe this size, like that. And sort of look, I'm sort of being random, but I'm not being. I don't think you're ever totally random with these things. I'm wondering whether I should water them out a little bit or not. Let's just, oh, trouble is that's going to lift. So let's just go round the actual shapes and have that happen, but we won't. I don't want to colour them totally, and let's just get a bit of that where the paintbrush was damp, so let's just add a bit of that in, and then maybe we'll add some stenciling. I have added a bit more extra water in that one. There we go, just to activate that pigment a little bit. I'm just worried otherwise that it might start rubbing off, or if I touch it then it might not be, you know, staying where it should be. So let's have a go with the shimmer paint. I've got a heart stencil, so I am going to just wipe that up there, grab a little one of these, give this a shake. I hope that this is okay. This is shimmer paint, this is Dylusions, it's bubblegum pink, so it's, ooh yes, that is nice and pink. Right, let's work some into the brush, and then we're just going to add a few, just, ooh, they were a bit splodgy. I may go around some of these with the pen. Should have held that down a bit and maybe been a little bit more precise with what I was doing. I wasn't really focusing, was I? Let's see, that might be better. Those ones are better. I might go back over those. Where were they? That's where they were. So you do need to sort of maybe press your stencil down a little bit more than I was doing, and really pouncing rather than letting it sort of float around. That's better. Let's do maybe a bigger one up here. Just a big one there, and then just a couple of little ones down here. Let's actually, I've got quite a bit of paint on the stencil now, so we'll do that. Let's go for, maybe go on a lighter area, because I'm just thinking that where I'm going on the darker areas, they're not really showing up that much. Not that I'm too worried, I'm not sort of trying to make them overly prominent. Do some going off the edge there. Ooh, let's get maybe a few in the middle here where the edge of that circle is. That might look quite cool. And then have them coming off this edge. There. Maybe another one over here. So you can be, even if you've got like all over patterns of your stencils, you can be, you know, quite precise in how you use them. So I'm going to let this dry off. I probably will get the heat tool out, let's face it, and then I'll be back to add some other bits and pieces on. Okay, so this has now been dried, and I'm thinking that I do want to add some white, gold or black touches into here, but before I do that I'm going to remove the tape, because I think it is the time to do that, and then I will think about what I maybe want to add on. I'm not sure if maybe some die cut hearts or some collage hearts. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure I've got some Dina Wakley collage paper that may have hearts that might look quite cool. But first of all, let's just remove all of this to see what we've got with our little backgrounds. So they're very abstract. I'm loving the colours actually. They I do think I've gone very close to the colour palette actually this time, which we'll have a look at in a minute. And the tape has done a good job with those inks, considering they were very, very... Oh, that's tearing. Let's try this end. Let's do this and then that might work, but maybe I didn't. Yeah, there, that worked. So there we go. So there's our little hearts. I think I want to add some white and black and gold maybe on here. So I've got my Copic Acrea in black and gold. Now, recently I did a video where I used the distress crayons and I used my white Copic Acrea on the top. Now, just a warning, please don't do that, because I kept on using it even though I knew it was struggling, and I actually did destroy the pen. I've had to get rid of the pen. It was totally destroyed. Somehow the waxiness in the crayons, I should have known better, but I didn't. But just to say, please don't do that with your paint pens. So I have ordered another one, because just the white one itself, because I didn't feel it was fair on the pen, because it was user error, totally user error. But I'm not so worried with these. This is ink and paint and watercolour, so this should be fine. But I will go to using my Posca white. Now I'm just wondering, did I want to use this one or did I want to use a thicker one? I think I was going to have a look. This may be the one that's running out, but I was going to see if I could maybe go round some of the hearts. Oh, it's very scratchy, this one. Yeah, that one's not showing up very well. Let's see, maybe with the gold, that might look nicer actually. Let's see, let's go over this one. Oh, I quite like the gold actually. Well, that's adding a nice little pop to the hearts, isn't it? And this one, where I was a little bit slapdash with my stenciling, you can then add on, you know, add the shape back in so that it's, you know, gives it back that shape. And I'm not worried about being precise. I'm roughly going around the shape of the hearts, but it's giving me the guide. Oops, I've gone over where that edge would have been, but that's fine. The hearts are quite nice. Simple shape. Let's do this one. This time I won't go over the edge. So I do want to keep that sort of border around it. And here, I'm now feeling that maybe gold splatters may be necessary. I'm not sure. Might add a little bit of white in. Actually, I could add some white in with oil pastel, couldn't I? But I'll need to leave that till right to the end, because we don't want to have to put anything. Oh look, I've lent that right into that gold. Let's see if I can get this white working actually. Let's see. And just do some dots around this. Do like a dot. Dots around my circles, just to emphasise them. Not all the way. Just part of the way round. And some in this one. And I'm not learning my lesson about starting on the left and working to the right, am I? Never learn my lesson. Like that. Just a little bit of white. Might go just some. Maybe a little bit of white lines. Although I could have done this, couldn't I, with my oil pastels. Just add a bit more contrast. Just get my pen back. Down there, across there, down there. there because I got a bit more confident as I went. So I started off quite tentative, and then I was like, just get that white on there, and that one there. That's it. So move my pens away from that. Now, let's see. I'm going to have a little look and see what I've got that I can add on to here. Right, so I had a look through a few different things. I decided against the Dina Wakley collage paper because I do feel that this ink is very liftable, and that as soon as I start to try to put anything very thin collage down, it is going to re-wet the ink. So instead I found these from Asher Marquette Lemon Creation Drawings Collection, and I remembered this is a well-loved collection, and I will link it if it's still available in the description box below. I did remember that she did have in this some hearts that I thought would be quite cool. I'd already cut a few out actually, so I've got a few there, different sizes. I'm thinking that one and that one. I'm now wondering though, if I do that, unless I've got another one the same, I'm wondering whether to go with a contrast. I know it's not in the colour palette, but or let's have a look what we got on this page. Oh, we got these ones that are similar. We'll go for these three. So we'll grab them first. I have also got out the oil pastels, which I will pop down there until I'm ready to use them. So let's cut out. Now, what you may see that what I try to do with my collage is, if possible, I try to sort of cut round so that I leave everything in the books, because I do this with my Marami collage, and I do it with my collage soup. I do it wherever I can to try to leave as much sort of attached as possible, because I don't like having loads and loads of bits. If I do, I tend to then find little plastic envelopes or little you know, like when you get things and they come in the little plastic things with the Ziplocs, I keep them and then I try and put them in there. If I can keep them in a bigger part, I will, and just pop them inside. Oh, look, a little moth decided it wanted to come and play, but it's not going to play today. It can go down there. So let's cut these. So we've got our 3, and I think because there's 6, we will. No, I don't know if I've already gone round there. I like to, once I've cut things out, especially if I'm cutting them right to the line, I will go round with a black pen just to make sure that they look finished. Now I was going to say something, you know what, it's gone out my head. I don't know what I was going to say. I think I was going to say I do like the fact that these are all different sizes. So I know, again, these are not purely the colour scheme, but I figure they've got a little bit of purple going on. They've got a little bit of blue. They've got orangey red, which I will link, the sort of thing. Oh, it's nearly pink. But you want a little bit of contrast anyway, don't you? So again, when I use a colour palette, I'm using it. It's a guide for me. It's just to spark creativity. It's not meant to be something that I am sort of following to the letter of the law, and that, you know, I'm going to get upset if, you know, it's your piece of work. If you want to then say you're actually halfway through, I want a bit green in this, you know. You are allowed to change your mind. Where did I put them scissors? Let's put them there. So let me just have a look. Have I gone round? And yes, see, those ones I had already gone round, because that is what I tend to do. No, it's probably that one, isn't it? Is it not? No, it wasn't that one. Was it this one? Oh no, just those two I'd gone around by the looks of it. So I get my, depends on the size of what I'm going to go around. Now this is a Unipin fine line brush tip, which is ideal for smaller things. If I'm going around something really big, sometimes I get something like my Faber-Castell Pit brush pen, you know, the large ones, big brush I should say, and I use that. If it's something smaller like this, then I'll just get this, or I'll get, sometimes I've got the finer Pit pens that are all in, you know, the drawing ones that are black, I think. Have I done that one? This one may have already been done, this may have been, but we'll go around it anyway because it won't matter. But this means that when you stick it down, it's not going to show any of that white raw edge, which is, you know, what I don't like it when that shows. I mean, if you don't mind it, it's fine, you know, you don't have to do this step, but this is what I always like to do. Sort of gotten into the habit of it. If I leave a border around things, I don't do this. It's only if I cut right to the line, so you know where the raw edge is. Let's go. So this is sort of like it's a Valentine's-y theme, but it's not, you know, really Valentine's. So because love could be, you know, love for yourself, love for your what you do, you know, your passions, love for friends, love for family. You know, it doesn't have to just be romantic loves. And that's those. Let's stick these on. So, do you know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking that I want them maybe to be sort of coming in and out of the squares. So they're partly on the square and partly on the border area. I think that will look quite nice. Like, I'm just going to place them first. This is what I tend to do. So you're sort of just checking. Some people call it auditioning. You know, you're seeing where you want them to be. On there, and then you've sort of got the opportunity then to say, right, if I don't like that, actually I like that first time. That's unusual. Now let's hope I've got a glue that works and it's not bunged up. Oh, I've got a glue that works. That's good. Right, I'm going to have it sort of not quite totally off. I want it there. So I like these. They're cute. So I don't want them. Oh, sorry. I don't know if I was apologising to you or apologising to the page. I saw something on there and I wanted to get rid of it. Let's have it in a bit there. So a bit of it's going into that circle. I like that. I don't want it so it's like right on the edge where the middle of the heart is. These are quite funky hearts, though. To be fair, they're not a normal sort of heart. They're not a traditional shape as such, are they? They're more funky. They're more asymmetrical, I think is the word I'm trying to think of. Now I've got one off a little bit more. And then this one here. So they're all different sizes, all different shapes, all slightly different colours. I'm loving that. Yeah, that one can go. So it's partly on the heart, partly there. Now, what I need, I do want a sentiment. So I did, while I was digging around for these, I've got my Tim Holtz Small Talk. This, as you may be able to see, I do use my stuff. These are the white writing on the black. They are my favourite. I have used some of the black on the white, but I don't use that as much. So I really do need to get around to using this. But I know the first two are start doing things you love. Start first free. Have an open heart and live your dream with passion, which I love all of them. So I'm thinking I'm going to have all of them on here. So now they are sticky, but I don't trust the stickers. I don't trust any stickers. Stickers are never sticky enough for my liking. So I will be sticking them with glue as well. But the fact they're not too sticky is actually quite useful because you can sort of stick them vaguely where you want. So maybe that, then there, and then, oh gosh, it's the day when I'm just like deciding straight away. This is highly unusual for me. It normally takes me about 3 different attempts to decide where I want something, at least 3 different attempts. I like that there. So I like some of it coming on and off them, but then I want sort of have this one so it's like on that centre section. Oops. And then this one here. And see what I mean? Because I don't find that any of these stickers stick totally. So if you want them to last, I think you need to stick them down with a bit of glue. Right, there we go. So that's those 3. Now finally then, I just want to add a little bit of oil pastel just because I feel that I should. Now let's have a look. Oh, here we go. So I've got my Gallery Soft Oil Pastels by Mungyo. Let's fling that down there. And this is the last step because nothing is going on top of these, and then I will... Oh, I thought that was something else. That's just the whiteness. So I have got pinks and I've also got white, but I'm feeling that I want light in this, but I'm not sure. Do I want... What's this one? Salmon. That would go with that sort of Potter's Pink vibe, and there's not a lot of that in there. Or I could go really much more dark and go with something like this purple. Or I could go with the white. Let's have the white and the pink and see, because if I put a bit down and then I think, oh, maybe it needs a bit more. So let's just add a little bit. Oh, I quite like that. Let's go around like that. Go around the whole thing. Oh, I quite like that colour actually. And it's just lifting it a little bit. I think some of that dark purple is a bit too dark, and if I go over the edges with that's fine. I like that. Now let's maybe a few little white marks in here. I have to do another one. I just realised I only did 4 there. I have to do 5. Let's go across this black, not black, this dark blue, and then we'll do that one there, and then just a little bit on here. There, just to add a little bit of a finishing touch. Pop those back in there, and there we have it. Let's have a little look at this bit closer, if I can do. Here we go. And so we've got our 6 little squares. So we've got 6 different pictures, but you've got a whole cohesive page, and hopefully that's showing you a few different products today, using them all in conjunction to get that really mixed media look. So if you did enjoy the video, do please give me a thumbs up, and if you're not already subscribed, I'd really love it if you would subscribe to the channel. I could actually, I just realised I could just maybe blend those slightly, just to... But I quite like the lines, so I won't go too mad, but we'll just blend them slightly like that. So there we go. So thank you very much for watching today, and I hope you join me again soon. Bye.